Good morning everyone. I am Sandeep Chahande. Today we are going to see the temperature rise of machine when it is heating. Okay. In the previous lecture we have discussed several ratings, several duties of the electrical machines depending on its temperature values, depending on their rise of temperature values. Okay. Now again today we are going to see, as I told you, the temperature rise of machine when it is heating. Okay, so let's get started. Means see what is happening over here. Whatever the temperature is get raised, means the once machine has get started, the temperature of that machine is also get increased. Okay. So for that purpose we have to consider several considerations, several assumptions are there. Okay, so there are three kinds of consideration we can say. Whatever the machine is generating heat, that heat energy is get developed inside the machine, again it is get absorbed inside the machine, and again that heat is that heat has to be get dissipated from the machine. So the overall condition can be considered as the conditions at any time t. Okay, the conditions at any time t from starting position, heat energy developed in the body during an infinitely small time dt. Okay, means dt is nothing but is a certain proportion, certain a fraction of time t. Dt is nothing but a fraction of time t, and for that time dt the heat energy is getting developed per second. Means as the time is getting increased, the heat energy is also get developed. Fine. So this is nothing but the heat energy developed per second into dt is nothing but the heat energy developed in the body once the motor is get started. So here we are considering the heat energy developed per second by capital Q, and dt is nothing but the fraction of time t. Okay, given in terms of the second. Okay, so the first equation is likewise Q into dt. Okay, this equation is nothing but the equation of energy developed in the body, okay, once the motor is get started, that is Q equals to the heat energy developed equals to Q into dt. Now moving forward again, we have if during this period dt, that is this fraction period of time, for the dt, the temperature of body rises by d theta. Okay, now here we are considering the temperature by theta. In the previous lecture I have told you whatever the maximum permissible temperature value is there, that temperature value, maximum temperature value is denoted by theta m, theta suffix m. Okay, so here theta is nothing but the temperature of the body. Okay, and as the time is getting increased by fraction of dt, so their temperature of the body is also getting increased by fraction of d theta. Means here d theta represents the fraction of temperature by the fraction of time, that is dt is proportional to the d theta for the particular instant, of time. Okay, so if during this period dt the temperature of body rises by d theta, so the heat energy stored in the body is given as, means once the heat energy developed, okay, the heat energy is get developed, then it has to be get stored inside the body of the machine. So the heat energy developed, as previously in the equation 1 we have seen, the heat energy developed is given as Q into dt. Likewise the heat energy stored in the inside the body is given as, that is weight of body into specific heat and into difference in temperature. Okay, so here the whatever the heat energy is get developed, that heat energy has to be get stored inside the machine, inside the body of the machine, and that is given as weight of body into specific heat into difference in temperature. Okay, so weight of body is denoted by capital G, specific heat is denoted by small h, and difference in temperature is denoted by d theta, as I told you. Okay, now here one term is there, that is the weight of body. You can consider it as, that is in terms of the kg. Okay, weight is considered in terms of the kg, kilogram. Okay, and the specific heat, what is the meaning of specific heat? Specific heat is nothing but the amount of heat. Okay, the definition of specific heat is that the amount of heat per unit mass required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Means what? The amount of whatever the amount of heat is getting generated and it is get stored in the body, then that heat has to be get raised the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Means as the time is getting increased, the temperature is also getting increased, and the temperature for the fraction of time and for the fraction of temperature, the temperature is nothing but the 1 degree Celsius we are considering over here, and for that purpose the specific heat is defined. Okay, and d theta is nothing but the difference in temperature, that is the fraction of temperature. So here we formulated the equation 2, that is the heat energy stored inside the body is given as G into H into d theta. Okay, if in this process of heating the temperature of the surface rises by theta over the ambient medium, at that instant consider the heat energy dissipated by body into the ambient medium due to radiation, conduction and convection. Okay, now all of you have must heard about the radiation, conduction and convection. These are nothing but the modes of the heat transfer. Okay, radiation, conduction and convection. I don't have to is there any need to explain this radiation, conduction and convection, because at this point all of you have must know about the radiation, conduction and convection. Okay, if you want you can comment in the following section what is the meaning of radiation, what is the meaning of conduction and what is the meaning of convection. Okay, now moving forward, we have the specific heat dissipation into surface and temperature rise, that is whatever the heat is getting stored. Okay, the first of all in the first equation we have seen the heat energy is getting generated, then it is getting stored. Now that heat energy, whatever the heat energy is getting stored, then this energy, the heat energy has to get dissipated from the surface of the electrical machines, whatever the machine is there. Okay, so by means of the radiation, conduction and convection, the heat energy is get dissipated into the environment, into the ambient medium. Okay, so for that purpose the radiation or conduction or convection, whatever the heat is getting dissipated, that is given as lambda into S into theta into dt, means specific heat dissipation. Sometimes it is called as the emissivity. Emissivity is nothing but the specific heat dissipation. Okay, as I told you, H, small h denotes the specific heat and lambda denotes the specific heat dissipation. Don't be get confused over here. Okay, H is the specific heat and lambda is the specific heat dissipation. So dissipating whatever the energy is dissipating, whatever the heat energy is dissipating, that heat energy dissipation is denoted by lambda. Again, from which part that is getting dissipated, that we also have to be get considered. So lambda into S, whatever the surface area is there, from that surface area it is getting dissipated. So lambda into S will be there. Again, whatever the temperature is getting generated, that temperature is get to be stored inside the body, and again that temperature has to be get dissipated, and the temperature rise is given as theta, means only the temperature. As I told you, the temperature is denoted by theta. Okay, and the time, the fraction of time, means we are seeing this dt several times, that whatever the time is getting increased by means of 1 second. Okay, the fraction of time we can say the t is total time and dt is nothing but the fraction of time. Let us consider a motor is running for 1 hour, so 1 hour is consist of 60 minutes. So 60 minutes is having, and let us consider dt is a fraction of that 60 minutes. So let us consider again the dt for the 1 minute. Again we have to consider the total dt equals to 60, then and only then we will get the overall time of the machine running is equals to the 60 minutes. Okay, now this is the equation 3. So as for now we have seen the heat generated by the equation 1, heat stored by equation 2, and heat dissipated by equation 3. So as the heat developed, the machine is equals to the heat stored in the parts of machine plus the heat dissipated, means whatever the heat is getting generated, whatever the heat is getting developed inside the machine by the machine, that should be equal to the heat stored in the parts of machine plus the heat dissipated by the machine. So we have formed a relation, that is from equation 1, 2 and 3 we get, that is Q into dt equals to G into H into d theta plus lambda into S into theta into dt. This is the overall equation, means Q dt represents the Q into dt represents the heat of generation. Okay. Again G H into d theta represents the heat stored in the body of machine, and lambda into S into theta into dt represents the what? The heat dissipations. Okay, so heat generation equals to the heat stored plus heat dissipation. Okay, now again moving forward we have, I hope all of you are getting this whatever I am saying you. Okay, now again moving forward we have rearranging the equation 4 we can get, means what we are doing, we are rearranging the equation 4, that is there are certain relations you can see. So what we have done, as you can see from the equation, we have moved the right hand side part, that is the heat dissipation, to the left hand side. So Q into dt minus, as you can see we have moved the right hand side part towards the left hand side, so that will becomes minus. So Q into dt minus lambda into S into theta into dt. What is lambda here? The lambda is the specific heat dissipation, and what is H here? The specific heat only. Okay, and I told you the specific heat denotes the amount of heat per unit mass required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Okay, now again rearranging the equation, so we can get dt in bracket, taking the dt common out, we can get Q minus lambda S theta equals to G into H into d theta. Again rearranging, we can see dt means what we are doing, we are moving the G into H towards the left hand side, and it is coming towards the denominator values. Okay, so dt, as you can see from the equation, above equation, that G into H has get moved towards the left hand side and it is under the denominator quantity. Okay, so dt in bracket Q into GH, Q by GH minus S lambda theta by GH equals to d theta. Again rearranging, we can see that is dt equals to d theta by, means whatever the left hand side value is there, that is dt into whole bracket value, that should be get moved towards the where? Towards the right hand side and to the denominator of the d theta. Okay, so as you can see dt equals to d theta upon Q by GH minus S lambda theta by GH. So here we formulated the equation 5. Okay, again solving the equation 5, we can see what we are doing here, we are rearranging the equations only. Okay, we are rearranging the equations. So again rearranging the equation or solving the equation 5, we can see dt equals to GH, means whatever the denominator quantity is there. Okay, denominator to the denominator quantity means Q upon GH minus S lambda theta upon GH, that get towards the upper side to the numerator side. Okay, numerator side and into d theta, and whatever the quantity remains in the denominator, that is equal to the Q minus S lambda theta. Okay, the GH is nothing but the common quantity from the denominator. Okay, Q by GH minus S lambda theta by GH, this is the common quantity that is getting upward side, that is toward the numerator side. Okay, again moving forward, we have to integrate the equation, the previous equation. So as you can see, integrating on the both sides, we get integration of dt equals to the integration of GH into 1 upon Q minus S lambda theta into d theta. So by integrating, we can see the dt, the d gets removed. So by integrating, as you can see from the equation, t equals to minus GH upon S lambda, that is S lambda is get common out, then log E into q upon gh minus s lambda gh into theta plus k, where k is nothing but the value of certain integrating constant. Okay, this is very simple integration. As you can see, you have to take some common that is the common values which can't be get integrated. Okay, that is said to be the constant value. Okay, so where k is the value of constant of integration. Now most of you have learned in your class 12 or class 11 the properties of integration. So whenever we get the value of k, so we have to find out that value of k by putting certain boundary condition. That is, boundary condition is nothing but initial and final condition. So the initial condition can be considered to be, that is, theta equals to theta I. Okay, again I am telling you, that is, theta is nothing but the value of temperature. Again here three quantity, listen carefully. Okay, here I am telling you the theta represent the value of temperature. Again theta m, as you have seen in the previous class, theta m represent the value of maximum temperature, and here the theta I is there. The theta I represent the initial value of temperature. I represent the initial value of temperature. So for finding out the value of k, we have to consider the boundary condition, and that boundary condition can be considered by considering the initial values of any quantity. So here initial value is nothing but the value of temperature, that is theta. So here the theta will be equals to the initial value of temperature, that is equals to the theta I, and initially the time is nothing but that is equals to 0. Initially there is no any time, means the motor haven't yet started. Okay, means that time of 0 we can say. So the initial value for theta equals to the theta I at t equals to the 0, where as you can see the theta is nothing but the initial temperature rise over ambient temperature. Ambient means environment temperature we can say. Okay, so therefore from equation 6 and from the initial condition, that is theta equals to the theta I at t equals to 0, we can get we have to put that theta equals to theta I in the equation 6 and t equals to 0. So we can get the value of k. So k will be equals to the minus sign get cancel out, so that k will be equals to the gh upon s lambda into log e in bracket q upon gh minus s lambda gh into theta I, where theta is, as I told you, as I am repeating this sentence, the theta is nothing but a temperature. Theta m is the value of maximum temperature, and theta I is the value of initial temperature. Okay, initial value of temperature. Now moving forward again, we have substituting the value of k, as we have got the value of k. Okay, so now we have to put this value of k in equation 6, that is the overall equation of 6. We can get t equals to minus gh upon s lambda into log e into q by gh minus s lambda by gh into theta plus gh upon s lambda, means whatever the value is after the plus sign, that is the value of k as we have found. Okay, so plus gh upon s lambda log e into q upon gh minus s lambda upon gh into theta I, where I represents the value of initial temperature. Okay, we have found for this, for the initial condition value, for the boundary condition value we can say. Okay, so therefore again rearranging the above equation, we can get certain the logarithmic formulas are there, logarithmic terminologies are there. So therefore we can arrange the equation as t equals to minus gh upon s lambda log e, again q upon s lambda minus theta and q upon s lambda minus theta I. Okay, this is very basic equation or basic relation of the logarithm. Most of you have also learned about the logarithmic relation. The logarithmic formulas are there. These are nothing but the basic formulas. Okay, so again moving forward, as we have got the t equals to minus gh upon s lambda into log e in overall bracket, that is q upon s lambda minus theta to the q upon s lambda minus theta I. So this is our equation 7. Again moving forward, we are having the machine reaches a final steady temperature rise theta m. Okay, when t equals to infinite. Okay, so what is here? As I told again, theta m is nothing but the value of maximum temperature, the final temperature value we can say. And when this final temperature value can be get achieved? When t equals to infinite. There is no any time limit for the temperature rise. Okay, so as we have seen the initial conditions, and now we are considering the final condition. Initial condition represented by the t equals to 0 for theta equals to theta I. Okay, theta equals to theta I, and now the final steady temperature value, that is theta equals to theta m and t equals to infinite, that is there is no any time limit. So under this condition there is no further temperature rise. Okay, means once the machine has achieved its maximum temperature limit, that is it's considering t that is theta equals to the 170 degrees Celsius for the t equals to infinite duration, then there is no any further temperature rise, because that machine is generating its maximum value of temperature. Beyond that there will be no any rise in the temperature value. Okay, so under this condition there is no further temperature rise, and hence the rate of heat production will be equal to the rate of heat dissipation. Means there is no any kind of rate of heat stored of the heat energy. So the second equation, as we have learned previously, just before some time, we have seen the rate of heat production, that is equals to the rate of heat stored plus rate of heat dissipation. But once the motor reaches its maximum temperature value, then there will be no any storing of heat. So in that condition, the whatever the heat of heat production is there, that is the rate of heat production is there, that is equals to directly rate of heat dissipation. So in that case the temperature change, that is d theta, is not happening over there. So for that condition d theta equals to the 0. Hence the rate of heat stored, that is we have considered in the equation 2, that is g into h into d theta, as d theta equals to 0. So g into h into d theta will be also equals to 0. So when the machine attains final steady temperature rise, this is very important condition you have to consider. Okay, this is very important condition you have to consider while considering this derivation. Okay, as the exam point of view, this is very important derivation. It is asked for 7 to 8 marks. Okay, so now for theta equals to theta m, as the rate of heat stored is get cancelled, so we can get directly, that is from equation 4, q into dt equals to s into lambda into theta m into dt, that is rate of heat production is given as q into dt equals to the rate of heat dissipation, that is given in terms of the lambda into s into theta m into dt. So cancelling the dt from the both sides, we will get q equals to s lambda theta m. Okay, now again moving forward, we can see that is again rearranging the above equation, we can see the theta m equals to q upon s lambda. This is the value of maximum temperature, where q is the, what is the q? Q is nothing but the heat, the amount of heat get generated. What is s? S is the surface area of the machine, and what is lambda? Lambda is the specific heat dissipation. Okay, so as we are having the equation, that is T equals to minus gh upon s lambda into log E, okay, in bracket q upon s lambda minus theta. Okay, in the previous equation, that is in equation 7, we can have the T equals to minus gh upon s lambda log E in bracket q upon s lambda minus theta to the q upon s lambda minus theta I. So we have found out the q upon s lambda quantity, that is given by theta m. So putting this theta m in place of the q upon s lambda, we get T equals to minus gh upon s lambda log E in bracket theta m minus theta to the theta m minus theta I. This is nothing but the equation 8. This is very important relation. Okay, so where you can see the g is nothing but, as I told you, that is the weight of active part, that is the machine weight given in terms of the kg. Here H is the specific heat. Again I am telling you the specific heat is nothing but the amount of heat per unit mass required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. Again there is another term is there, that is the latent heat. The latent heat is nothing but the heat required to convert a solid into liquid or liquid into vapor without change in temperature. Okay, without change in temperature. What is latent heat? The amount of heat required to convert a solid into liquid and liquid into a vapor without change in temperature, but the time is getting increased for that. Okay, again S is nothing but the cooling surface area of the machine. Lambda is the specific heat dissipation, that is the rate of heat dissipation we can say, that is nothing but emissivity. Again theta m is the maximum value of temperature. Once the machine achieved the maximum value temperature, then there will be no any change of the temperature quantity. So here the d theta will be equal to 0, and theta I, the final is the theta I is nothing but initial value of temperature for the t equals to 0 condition we have considered earlier. Again moving forward, we can see here gh upon s lambda is equals to the th. This is very important relation. Sometimes in the numericals it is asked calculate the heating time constant. Okay, so gh upon s lambda equals to the th. It is equal. It is called as the heating time constant. This is very important relation. You have to must keep in mind. Okay, so th is nothing but heating time constant, that is equals to the gh upon s lambda, where g is the weight of the machine, that is given in terms of the kg. H is the specific heat. S is the surface area, lambda is the specific heat dissipation. So putting the above term of gh upon s lambda in equation 8, we get that is T equals to minus th. Okay, what we are doing now, we are putting gh upon s lambda value, that is equals to th, which is called as the heating time constant. In place of the gh upon s lambda, we are putting the th. Okay, so t equals to minus th log e in bracket theta m minus theta to the theta m minus theta I. Theta m, what is theta m? The maximum value of temperature. Okay, what is theta I? The initial value of temperature. And what is theta is there? Theta is the actual value of temperature, the overall, the average value of temperature we can say. Okay, again rearranging the equation, we can get by applying certain log term, that is the applying natural log, we can get theta m minus theta upon theta m minus theta I equals to the e to the power minus t upon th. This is very basic relation of the logarithm you can see. Okay, so again moving forward, we can have further rearranging the above equation, above relation, we can get theta m minus theta equals to the theta m in bracket theta m minus theta I into e to the power minus t upon th. We have arranged the above relation. Again rearranging, we can see multiplying the e to the power minus t upon th inside the bracket, we can get theta m minus theta equals to the theta m into e to the power minus t upon th minus theta I into e to the power minus t upon th. And finally here we are getting, okay, here you can see the two terms are there, that is of the theta m into e to the power minus t upon th minus theta I into e to the power minus t upon th. So our derivation is related to the temperature rise of machine when it is heating. Okay, so when the temperature is getting rise, when the machine is getting heated. Okay, so as the machine is getting heated, so we have to consider the maximum value of temperature, means theta m. Okay, so the rest of the quantity, that is theta I into e to the power minus t upon th, is to be get neglected. So we can get finally theta equals to theta m in bracket 1 minus e to the power minus t upon th. This is the final relation that is given by the equation 9. What I told you, you have to neglect the initial value of temperature condition, that is theta I into e to the power minus t upon th. Okay, that is the initial value of temperature conditions. But what we are doing, we are considering the derivation for temperature rise of machine when it is heating. Okay, when it is not cooling. Okay, if the cooling is to be considered, then you have to consider the theta I condition, but here we have to consider the theta m. Why? Because the machine is getting heated. Okay, so we can see from the relation, that is theta equals to the theta m in bracket 1 minus e to the power minus t upon th. There are simple rearrangement is there. Okay, so hence this equation 9 represents the relation of temperature rise of machine when it is heating with time. So from the relation 9 you can see theta is the actual temperature of machine, theta m is the maximum value of temperature of the machine, 1 as you can see minus e to the power minus t. What is t? T is nothing but the time, means for what time it is getting run. Okay, means for what duration the machine is getting running. Okay, consider in the certain numericals you will see the running time of machine is 30 minutes, the running time of machine is 45 minutes. So in that case you have to consider that t equals to 30 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever the value is given in the numerical. Okay, again upon th. What is th? Th is nothing but heating time constant, that is given by gh upon s lambda. So th is heating time constant and given by gh upon s lambda. Okay, what is g? The weight of the machine. Okay, what is h? The specific heat. What is s? S is the surface area, and what is lambda? The specific heat dissipation. Okay, again the final equation, as we can see, the previous equation 9 was the for the heating purpose, and again considering the equation the above relation, we can consider it for the cooling condition, means once the machine is getting switched off. Okay, once the machine is getting switched off, then it has to return its initial value of temperature condition. So in that case we don't have to consider the theta m, you have to consider the theta I, the initial value of temperature. So we can see the theta equals to the theta I into e to the power minus t upon th. So this equation 10 represents the relation of temperature fall, means temperature is getting down. Okay, temperature is getting decreased when the machine is getting switched off. Okay, so the relation of temperature fall of machine from maximum value of temperature to its initial value with time. So the initial value of temperature is theta I, t represents the time. Okay, and th represents the that is the heating time constant, that is equals to the gh upon s lambda. Okay, so this is all about the derivation. This is all about the overall relation of temperature rise of machine when it is heating, and this is very important relation. It is asked most of the time in the examination for 7 to 8 marks. Okay, so what we have to do, you have to consider the first of all 3 conditions, that is the rate of heat generation that equals to the rate of heat stored plus rate of heat dissipation. Okay, what I am telling you, the rate of heat generation that should be equal to the rate of heat stored plus rate of heat dissipation. Okay, but as the machine attains its maximum value of temperature, then there will be no any change in the d theta. So d theta will be equal to the 0, and that condition of rate of heat stored is also become 0. So for that condition the rate of heat generation is equal to the rate of heat dissipation directly. Okay, so again the derivation is very simple, you can see. So you have to learn, you have to practice this as I told you in the very simple way. So you have to practice this thoroughly, so you can get the full marks. Okay, if guys you have any questions, then you can ask me in the comment section. Okay, you are free to ask any question, anything you want for any subject, but particularly here we are considering the electrical machine design. So you are having any difficulty until now, okay, so you can ask me directly in the comment section below. Okay, so in the next lecture we will see again one relation is there, one derivation is there, the relation between the heating overload ratio and mechanical overload ratio. Okay, so in the next lecture we will see it. So thank you.